You are welcome in online class. In online class, today we have to talk about the chapter number the 15. This chapter is dedicated for the reaching the age of the adolescence. Reaching the age of adolescence means that when the children, when the child get birth, after that getting the birth of the childhood, how they reach to the adult age, how they reach to the adult age. The question is related and that is concealed into this chapter. So all the living organisms, they are maintaining their life on this earth by the one process that is called the reproduction process. In the reproduction process, the number of the individual are increasing, but one question arises that all the time the human body are not capable to for the reproduction, and they have no sexual maturity. That's why they are not able to reproduce in a different age. When they reach to the certain age, they are able to reproduce. And after that, in the life of the human, there are three phases. First is the childhood, second is the adulthood, third number is the old age. So this is the broad concept that is already generally we talk about. Now one thing is that what is the adolescence? Adolescence is the transitional age, stage in which physical and the mental psychological development take places. That is called the adolescence stage. But when we literally want to discuss about the what is adolescence, so adolescence is made from the Latin word adolescere, which means that growing into maturity. Now, what does mean maturity? This means that the physical development, psychological development that takes place in the child, as well as their sexual development, secondary sexual character like the sexual development, their sex organs, gonads, they develop, and they are capable to release the hormones. They are capable to develop their sex organs. Their sex organs start developing, they are increasing in the size. Now the physical changes take places, and as well as the sexual development take places. So in that sexual development, soldiers are becoming broader, the lungs and the heart, they are also becoming the bigger in size. 50% the size increase in the adolescence stage. And after that, what happens? They have the sebaceous gland just within the skin. They start secreting the sebum chemical, and their body are oily. Sometimes they have the pimples or acne over their facial parts. So these are. So now what happens in the adolescence? Adolescence is the stage in which there is a rapid changes development that take place, growing to the sexual maturity that take places. And it is the stage between the 12 to 18 years of age is known as the adolescence stage. But before the adolescence stage, there are also age that is between the 12 to 15 years, that is called the puberty. Puberty is made from the Latin word pubertas, which means the manhood. So now child is now becoming and changing, transforming into the adolescence, adults. They are changing into the adults. So this is called the puberty. So one thing is that the girls attains the puberty earlier than the boy. So 10 years they start achieving the puberty, but in case of the boy, they attain the puberty at the 12 years of the age. So what are the changes that take places in the puberty? That is, the first option is the increase in height. The girl's height increase rapidly before the age of the boy. So the girl's age start developing, height increasing the 11 to 13 years, but in the boy they have the delayed height. At the 13 years to 15 years, their height increase maximum. So after that, change the size of the heart and lungs, I have told already, change the body shapes, as well as the change in the voice box. The larynx has the some cord, and the cord is known as the vocal cord, and they are the short and thin before the puberty. But when they becoming adult, so they become the bigger and they become the flatter. That's why thick That's why their voice is a hoarse, HOIARSE, hoarse. This means that now their voice are something uh, harder. They are becoming the flatter. Now the Adam's apple at the throat region, this is the trachea layer. So the one outgrowth, that bulge comes out at the tracheal point. This is called the Adam's apple. And the sebaceous gland within the skin, they start secreting the sebum, as I have told. Sexual development, what happens, the boys and girls, they start maturing, and their sex organs, like the different sex organs in the boy, like the testes, the urethra, penis, as well as the prostate gland, seminal fluids. So these all becoming matured, and the testes start to producing the sperm, and this sperm is monitored by the some hormones like the testosterone hormone that is released by the endocrine glands. So these endocrine glands monitor the formation of the gametes in the testes, that is called the gametogenesis, yeah, that is called the spermatogenesis. And after the sperm is formed, this sperm goes to, yeah, that is take the passage through the epididymis to the seminal fluid, and in the seminal fluid some seminal vesicles, sorry, and the seminal vesicles, they get the seminal fluid, and the now sperm as well as the seminal fluid combined together. This is called the semen, and this semen now is again coming back to that one. When there is a reproduction process, this seminal fluid as well as the sperm that combine together, and during the copulation process, these semen are discharged into the vaginal passage of the female, and now reproduction process completes, yeah, the fertilization process completes when the sperm flows and reach to the fallopian tube, the female reproductive part of the female. So what happens? The sexual character, sex organ develops, hormones start increasing. Hormones are the chemicals that is responsible for, that is secreted by the endocrine glands, that monitors and the balance the adolescents. Adolescents are controlled and monitored by the hormones. If there are no hormones, chemicals, the different organs, yeah, glands, they are responsible for secreting the hormones like the pituitary glands, and pituitary glands, testosterone hormone by the testes, and the estrogen and progesterone hormone is secreted by the female reproductive part, that is called the ovary. So these all the testosterone hormones and ovary releasing the different hormones, they are maturing the sex organs or the gonads of the male and female. And now when the boy achieved, yeah, girls achieved the process of the sexual maturity, so in the girls the menstrual cycle starts, and this menstrual cycle is the onset of the sexual maturity into the female. And after that there are the reproductive phases in the human body. In the reproductive phases, the human male gamete are produced in the male in testes, and this is called the sperm. In the female, the ovary, that is called the ovum or the female egg. So sperm and ovum are manufactured, yeah, made into the different sex organs. And after that, the menstrual cycle, the inner lining of the uterus start becoming thicker, and the uterus wall become more thicker and the more blood vessels, and now these waits for the sperm to come to fuse with the ovum. But when there is no fertilization, then inner lining of the uterus of the female, they rupture and they come out discharged through the vaginal passage. So this is called the menstrual cycle, and menstruation lasts for the 3 to 6 days. That varies in the different individual, the female, and they can last different varies 3 to 6 days. So when the age of the 45 and 60 years of the olds, 50 years of the olds, the menstruation stops as sees. This is called the menopause. And after that, when this lasts for, it starts the menstruation cycle every 28 to 30 days, the menstrual cycle, the menstrual blood flow that comes. These are Now after that, when the sexual maturity comes, that the sex organs are capable to make the male gamete and the female gamete. In the female gamete, how the sex are determines of the child. We know that 46 chromosomes are present in the male and in the human being, and these 46 chromosome, 44s are called the autosomes, and last the pair is called the sex chromosomes. So the last pair is different in the males and the females. It is XY, and in the male and the females that is called the XX. So when the 22X from the male and 22X from the female, they fuse, they becomes the 46, 22 plus 22, 44, and X plus X, 46. So this is the baby girl child is produced when the 2Y autosomes, 2Y plus 22 plus Y and 22 plus X, when they fuse from each other, male and female, these are formed the male baby, a male boy. So this is called the fertilization process. And how this fertilization process are controlled. So we have the endocrine glands in our body. Endocrine means inner glands. These inner glands are called the pineal gland, hypothalamus gland, pituitary gland, parathyroid glands, and after that thymus gland, adrenal glands, pancreas, and kidney. So these all are capable to make the different hormones. They release indirectly into the bloods. They have no distinct any blood capillaries and the tube. So they are called the ductless gland. They are directly bathed into the blood, and through the bloods these all hormones circulated all around the body. So these are called the hormones, endocrine glands. Like the thyroxine, we have told that thyroid glands, they release the thyroxic acid. This controls the metabolic process of the human body. Without controlling the metabolic process, all the chemical reaction will be disturbed. So the child will not have the adolescence, they will not be adult, and their sexual maturity will be retarded. And after that the insulin hormone that is released by the pancreas, so that controls the blood glucose level, and we are free from the diabetes. Adrenal glands, they are the organs, they release the adrenaline hormones. These are controlling our body in the stress conditions. So these are called the adrenal gland, release the adrenaline. And the role of hormones, what hormones do? So in the life cycle from the egg stage to the different stage of the adults, various changes that take places, that is called the metamorphosis. So metamorphosis, as in the frog, first the egg of the female frog is called the spawn, which is surrounded by the jelly-like substances. This is called the jelly-like spawn, and these are released into the water, and these are received by the female gamete egg of the female frog. They combine together, and after that the fertilization takes places. First is the egg stage, a larva stage, and the tadpole stage, and the adult stage in the life cycle. So now we will read about the reproductive health. When we have the no nutrition, then our nutrition will not make the good health, and there is no good health, no food, no good health, the adolescence, good adolescence will be achieved. So whenever we take the more nutrition, that causes the obesity. Obesity is not good for the adolescence stage. And second thing is that heredity things are also responsible for making the proper growth of the adolescence. And after that, personal hygiene. Personal hygiene is the very important role in the sexual development. If we do not have the proper cleanliness and sanitation of our body, we will suffer from the different diseases, and the sexual characters will not develop. And so we should also pay attention about the physical exercise. We should say no drugs to the drugs, so that our adulthood can be achieved very well. So thank you, dear. We have discussed all these topics in the chapter Reaching to the Age of Adolescence. Thank you for watching and listening this the chapter and the topics. Thank you. Bye.